For all those who remember these guys. Easily one of the biggest bands in the scene. They're still around, they're thriving, killing it. But the real question is, how did they get there? What's their story? That's what we're gonna find out today. So my friend, as usual, take a cup of coffee, cigarette, avocado, toast, whatever you feel like, as we explore the Attila Myspace era. Alright, before starting the video, I have to give a shout out to the Cozy representative who did an amazing video about Attila. I mean, Finn McKenty and Cozy representative are both my biggest inspiration. The least I can do is give them a proper shout out. Also, if you want to support me and the channel, I don't really have a Patreon or something like that. So the best way really is to join our Discord and to hang out with us. And of course, maybe leave a like and subscribe. I'm also super excited to tell you about the new podcast we're gonna have. It won't be here on my channel. It's actually a live podcast concept in which we're gonna have a brand new guest every single week. So stay tuned for that. With all that being said, let's start the video. So the band was founded in 2005 in Atlanta, Georgia. And believe it or not, they were all still in high school when they started the band. The name, Attila, came from Attila the Hun, and no, I won't explain to you who it was. I mean, there's Google for that. I still think it's worth mentioning that Franz really wanted like a one-word band name, and he didn't want any words like dying or blood or something like that. He really wanted something different than the usual metalcore, death metal, whatever name. During their first year as a band, they really focused on writing, making music together, jamming, all of that, until they finally started recording in 2006, which brings us to March 2007, when the band self-released their very first full-length album called Fallacy. Alright, where to start? I mean, I don't care what people say, I really think it's good. Musically, it's kind of all over the place, a little rough around the edges, from pig squeal to clean singing, but the energy in general is very awesome. It's kind of a happy chaos, if that makes sense. It's like super fast and brutal, and Franz's vocals are actually very cool. He wasn't doing his high-pitched rapping technique or something, but he still sounded very gnarly. For the instrumental, the riffs are very well built, breakdowns are heavy and bouncy. I mean, it was exactly what people wanted at the time. And in my case, that's kind of still what I want. That being said, it's kind of strange to hear an album like that from Attila, knowing how they were gonna sound later on. But that's my favorite part about doing all of this. It's to know where it all started. And talking about that, I actually found an interview in which Franz explains the influence and how it was to work with the OG members.
My original vision for the band was to be like a really heavy but southern band. All the OG members that we all started the band with were really heavy into Pantera, so it was kind of like, you know, we liked heavy music and hardcore music, but at the same time we were all like really southern dudes, and we liked Pantera and grew up in Georgia, so, you know, we just wanted to be southern and heavy.
Interesting, right? So then they did their thing, they organized local shows, putting their name out there, and it worked. They got noticed. Not too long after the release, in 2008, they got signed by Static Factory. Of course, it was a big milestone for the band. They updated their cover art on Myspace, they changed their band member section, they even bought a new van, which I thought was pretty wholesome. They also had some pretty sick merch that I thought I could show you while we're here, because why not? I'm also very excited because I found a few live performances from back then. Cool, right? As I was doing my research, I found on an old YouTube profile a summer tour update they did.
Alright, step back, practice swings. Ready? Oh, that's a hole in one.
Now just put some power into it and hit it. Paul, what do you have with you?
I have 100 balls.
I'm blue, I'm a need a knife, but there goes an officer for you, dude.
That's the officer.
That's the officer, man.
You were right, dude.
Oh, bro, let's go to the beach. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Then, in October 2008, they posted a statement on their MySpace profile page. It reads as follows. To keep it short, we play party death metal from Atlanta, Georgia. We cut the bullshit and have fun. Attila is signed to Static Factory Records and was formed in August of 2005 amidst 4 guys who love heavy music. As time progressed, we went through a few lineup changes, but the 2 founding members, Franz and Sean, remained constant. By combining all of our interests, thought, and ideas, we were able to develop our own style of music. The heavy music scene is literally with countless numbers of Christian bands, straight edge bands, and overrated scene bands. We'd rather have fun. Every show is a party, and we encourage our fans to get on stage and from rafters, crowd surf, headwalk, stage dive, and take the mic. We have fun at shows, so why shouldn't you? We toured the East Coast 3 times, and we are hardly satisfied with that. We will be touring full-time starting this winter, East Coast, West Coast, Canada, Mexico, Europe, Australia. We're taking it all over. It's only a matter of time. We have a full-length self-release CD out there titled Fallacy. Please buy it. We are about to release our newest CD titled The Soundtrack to a Party on December 9th, 2008. Feel free to talk to us about anything. We try to respond to every comment and message sent. So keep us busy, we're friendly, I promise. Which of course brings us to December 2008, when the band released their famous album called Soundtrack to a Party. Hell yeah, I love this album so much. And that's how partycore was invented, my friends. At this point, the lineup had changed, the dudes in Attila really embraced their passion for partying and just having fun in general, and they wanted to share that with the world. I mean, it was the proof that metal can still be uplifting and positive. It didn't have to be this dramatic, end of the world type of vibe, you know? There were plenty of other bands doing that already. Attila wanted something different. In pretty much every video I make, I always mention how important it is to have your own identity and personality as a band. And for Attila, this wild party uplifting vibes, it was their thing, their X factor, if you will. The general feeling of it, the ambience live at the shows, it really resonated with a different audience. In terms of music and sound, it's super well executed. I mean, to any Attila haters out there, they're good musicians. Like, they're including pretty technical stuff in there if you pay attention. Also, I think the riffs are very unique, the breakdowns are awesome. Soundtrack to a Party also features my all-time favorite song from Attila, Soda in the Water Cup, which of course instantly became a fan's favorite live.
Next song's a brand new one, but I'm gonna need your guys' help on this one. This song's called Soda in the Water Cup. Help me start this song.
I also think it's pretty funny that apparently the inspiration for this song came out from nowhere.
Came out of nowhere and it came out good. Like the whole beginning part I had kind of had in my mind for a while but never got to use it. And then we were coming down, you know, writing the album for Soundtrack to a Party, last song, and then I was just like, bam, first part, everything else fell in place and the whole song came together and it ended up being
How'd
great.
you come up with the name? Soda
The
in
name?
a water cup.
I mean, it's pretty obvious if you think about it.
No, I'm
if
stupid.
not,
Why? Hello.
I mean,
Yeah,
all
let's
right.
explain it to the Midwesterners.
The humanoids.
All right. Explanation. If you're going to get fast food, whatnot, especially fast food, Taco Bell, Burger King, whatever, you get a water cup because it's free, and then you fill it with soda because.
And then you get yelled at.
And then you get yelled
Yeah,
at, but
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
give a fuck.
Vocally, Franz really found his voice. He started doing his high-pitch rapping technique. Maybe not as much as he would do later on, but I still think it's interesting that it started there. I actually found a little Q&A he did years later, explaining how he found the idea of doing that.
Okay, well, it's kind of a random story, but I used to work at Starbucks a long time ago, and I was really hopped up on caffeine, and I just wanted to see if I could scream really fast. So I wrote some lines that were super fast, twist-a-fast, and I nailed it, and I could just do really fast rhythms, so I just decided to incorporate it in the music. If rappers can do it, I can do it.
Cool, right? I mean, for a vocalist, I personally believe that the ultimate goal is to sound like yourself. Like creating something that no one would have the capacity of emulating. So I really think it's impressive that Franz found that very early in his career. Anyway, all that to say that it's an amazing album. Then, in early 2009, they decided to change their cover art on Myspace to represent the new album. Of course, they changed the members section with the same kind of theme. They also had a screenshot of their music player when they hit 6,666 plays in one day. And while we're here, I think it's pretty impressive that they had over 1 million total plays already. Then, in order to promote the release of their new album, they actually did a winter tour with Rose Funeral, who were also promoting their new album. So I guess it was a collab release tour. Honestly, I would pay to see that. Rose Funeral with Attila, holy sh**. By the way, if you love Rose Funeral, you're probably gonna enjoy the video I did about them. Shameless plug. As you probably already know, One of the reasons why Attila is so successful is because Franz really always had this business mindset, this amazing perspective, and he really knew how important it was to have proper photo shoots, their image and all that. That's why their profile was so often updated. He really knew what matters at the time. And yes, of course, talking about updating their image on MySpace, already in July 2009, they changed it again, and it looked awesome. It really gives this vibe of like, you know, futuristic type of like Maya, whatever kind of thing. And it kind of proved my point about Franz, you know, they did an aesthetic that would become all the rage years later during the Gent era. All those bands would do that. And Attila was already doing it in 2009. So it's cool to see how ahead of their time they really were since the beginning. They also released another statement on their MySpace profile that I'm gonna try to read properly. Since their start in August 2005, Attila has been injecting an upbeat and energetic feel into the metal industry. Based out of Atlanta, Georgia, this 5-piece metal band has taken the scene and turned it upside down. Their second full-length release entitled Soundtrack to a Party kicks it up a notch by pumping in captivating beats and outlandish lyrics, all backed with high-paced, aggressive riffs, and vicious breakdowns. Their December 9th release of the Soundtrack to Party coins the term partycore and puts a new and lively style on the map. I'm saying style, by the way, people, because I can't pronounce this word. Sufficient to say the Soundtrack to a Party takes the death out of metal and brings it to life. Alright, I'm realizing now that it wasn't really a statement, it was more of a review, but whatever, you get the picture. I really love that they were embracing this partycore thing, you know? And also, when they said taking the death out of metal and bringing it to life, it's so sick. I think it's a great way to explain it.
Basically, what I would say, death metal, usually when you think about it, along with it, you think of your typical gory, whatever, death metal lyrics, whatever you want to call it.
Maiming sluts.
Maiming sluts, yeah, of course. But as far as lyrics go, I wanted to put a little spin on it and just make it lyrics that I felt that me and my friends could relate to, and we all love to party, smoke, drink, whatever we can, you know, to have a good time, pass the time. So I feel like, you know, playing music that relates to activities that we like to do is, you know, gives, you know, an opportunity for people to connect with our music more. You know, not everyone can relate to skull a dead corpse, you know.
That's true.
I can, but not everyone can, so.
So with their new increasing success and popularity in the scene, Attila got included in a very big tour. It was called the No Care Ever Tour, which I thought represents the band pretty well. It was a big tour across the US and Canada.
Canada
Amazing. We're actually getting ready to go back.
Especially people that can't speak English and like they know your songs but they can't like talk to you or speak to you.
Yeah, like it's
pretty
very
crazy,
awkward because like the kids are excited, but like you can't even talk to them. You're just like.
I mean, in most places in Canada you can. Just Montreal blew us away. We got there was like 250, 300 kids at our show, and every single one of them like knew the lyrics.
Of course, it made me really happy to hear that they had a good time here. And talking about having a good time, the live performances were awesome. By the end of the year, they changed their MySpace profile, again, with of course a brand new band member section. They also announced that they were officially on the Facebook, which is, by the way, the absolute worst platform for a band, I believe, but back then it was a new thing. And then, in early 2010, they officially got signed by Artery Recordings, a very cool label that allowed them to go in the studio again. And yes, of course, I found some very cool studio updates.
Yo, what up, YouTube? Check out the new Attila crib in Portland, Oregon. Come on in, check it out.
Alright. Welcome to our kitchen. This is what we got over here from. Cooking some vegetables. This is our 72-inch plasma screen.
Doesn't really look like a studio from out here, but it's a studio.
Yeah, we'll do this shit.
Which brings us to May 2010, when the band officially released Rage.
Just don't give up. Fuck. This is the world, but the band that you could make it appearance. I finally got insane. I'm even I've been away for a long, long time. No one can save me 'cause I'm too far gone.
Dear Lord, where to start? It's one of my favorite albums, for sure. We're talking partycore at its best. Only good vibes, man. It's just so good. The music is extremely uplifting and bouncy with some crazy breakdowns if you really pay attention to it. Most of the riffs are very technical, but yet it doesn't feel like it because it's so fluid and each part is connecting so well with one another that it just keeps this uplifting bounciness through the record. The songwriting is on point, really. Such a big improvement since their previous album. As much as I love Soundtrack to Party, I mean, it's undeniably an upgrade. Front's vocals couldn't be better. I mean, it's perfect. I couldn't even picture another vocalist with them. Wouldn't make any sense. It just really sounded perfect. He kind of started doing his high-pitched rapping thing way more, which of course really suits the vibe. I also thought it was worth mentioning that when you vibe with your band, when you're like friends, you can feel it through the songs. And Rage is a very good example of that. Another very important thing that I wanted to mention is that Attila was the perfect gateway for someone who don't really enjoy metal that much, like death metal and classic stuff, but still appreciates heavy music. Rage was the perfect thing to show them. I had plenty of friends who didn't like deathcore and metalcore in general, but they could listen to this album and really appreciate it and kind of like just bounce in the car, and I think it's awesome. Well done, Attila. Well done. The album was of course very well received, charting at number 15 on the Billboard Top Heat Seekers chart. Then, a little later, they released their official iconic video for the song Rage. Once again, they updated their Myspace profile with some new cool merch and promotion. The band was on fire. They were everywhere, fully embracing their new milestone and popularity in the scene. They were doing some sick tours with big bands, and I found a little interview in which Franz was explaining which band was partying the hardest.
Well, we did a bunch of tours with Dr. Attila, and those boys were pretty wild. Believe it or not, like, the two tours we did over the summer with Drop Dead Gorgeous, even though I think they're not around anymore, but they were
they were the craziest party animals, you know. Like, we've done metal tours with heavy ass bands, and a lot of times, like, the heavier bands can't keep up with us. Like, they don't want to drink as much as us, or like only a couple of us drink, or only one of us smokes, or whatever, blah blah blah. And we're just like, all of us drink, all of us smoke, we all want to party every day. Like, you know, there's no like if and or but, you know.
Interesting, right? I mean, I wasn't surprised to hear that Dr. Attila was partying hard, but Drop Dead Gorgeous? I don't know, I was kind of surprised. Anyway, talking about these tours, Attila was killing it live.
And if you know the fucking words, get the fuck up here. I want to see you singing this shit tonight. I can't see shit. You told me you care.
So sick, man. You can hate Attila if you want, but the ambience live is undeniably cool. But that was pretty much it for 2010. In early 2011, as they were writing new stuff and preparing to go back in the studio, Franz started doing little Q&As online.
What are we most excited about for the new album? I'd say definitely we're probably most excited about recording with Joey Sturgis at Foundation Studios. He's probably one of the best producers out there right now, and everything he puts out is just amazing. He doesn't put out anything that's doesn't do well, so you know, getting to work with him for this album will definitely be good. You know, we're also just looking forward to getting to expand our sound, you know, because Rage hit off so well with what we're doing, and people, you know, really caught on and gave us praise for, you know, just not really caring and just going out and doing what we love and singing about whatever we want. So, you know, it definitely gives us room to expand our sound.
It's cool to hear that Franz was excited to work with Joey Sturgis. I mean, who wouldn't be excited to work with that guy? He was literally the best in the game, by far. And talking about recording in studio, once again, they did some amazing studio updates.
Joe, you hear that? What? The monster outside?
No.
Oh
shit! Paranormal activities. We pretty much rotate on Call of Duty all day long. Bunk beds. Weights. Just made a new train horn.
Good night, Nate.
Good night, Nate.
Which brings us to August 2011, when Attila officially released their brand new album called Outlawed. Alright, let's do this. First, I think it's a very good album, super different. I mean, musically it sounded way more southern, and they went way more into the sexual aspect of partying, if you will. I personally think it sounded way more heavy. I don't know if it's the production, the tuning, whatever, but the heavy parts were actually heavier. So yeah, even though it's not my favorite record, it was pretty good. It's always cool to see a band not being afraid of trying new things, and they kept their identity and personality, which I always say is the most important thing. There's an interview in which Franz explained the difference between Rage and this album.
As far as like how it compares to Rage, it's just way better. Like overall, it's way heavier than Rage. It's heavier than any album we've done so far, and it's catchier though too. Like I think an aspect of our music that people really liked was like the southern twang we brought to it, and we got southern as fuck.
Pretty funny because he basically said the same thing about the southern sound and the heaviness, and I swear I found the interview after doing my review. The song Payback is by far my favorite song on this record, for which they did an official video. They also did one for the song Smoke Out. The album was once again very well received, peaking at number 87 on the Billboard 200, selling over 4,700 copies in its first week. It was wild. They started to do more interviews, getting more popular. Then they of course updated their MySpace once again. They were back with some new merch, always cool to see that. And once again, they were killing it live. So now I guess the question would be, what happens next?
I'm a bad motherfucker, not a fucking role model. I'm church, hit a phone, nigga, smash a fucking bottle.
That's gonna be for part 2. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you want to take a little moment to comment, I always appreciate that. As I mentioned earlier, the best way to support me would be to join our Discord and just hang out with us. Stay tuned for our brand new live podcast starting in 2024. We're gonna have a new guest every week from your favorite bands. It's gonna be wild. So now, with all that being said, I'm gonna stop talking. I'll see you in the next one.